PC160.
And I'm Joe McCoy, Mech 2 at PC160.
Today we're going to go over some safety and inspection points on our shop air compressor. Just so you know, our SH&E team has developed a safety standard for compressed air usage that you can reach at the link below by any computer and any PC. This is a great standard, so make sure you pass it out to all your team members so that they can safely maintain your shop air compressor.
Before we get into it, let's make sure we have all our PPE, our safety glasses, ear protection, gloves, and steel-toe shoes.
Okay, Joe, but first, before we get started, we need to take 10 card and de-energize our shop compressor. Alright, Joe, so let's start out with locking out our electricity.
Alright, first we're going to come up here and find the breaker that we need, which is 3941. Come down here. Before you touch it, you want to make sure you have gloves on, you're not sitting in any puddle of water. I'm going to come over, turn the breaker. I'm going to take this, it has 2 tabs. This one's going to go towards the outside here. And you want to bring it out. You want to make sure you get in between the tabs here so that it doesn't slide up or down. We'll tighten it up. Okay. Now it is locked up.
Alright, Joe, now it's time to discharge our air pressure. We want to make sure that we have our ear protection in and that there's nobody in our work area. Alright, now that we have mitigated our risks, we need to start our inspection. But I will first point out that in the state of Virginia, our shop air compressor's pressure vessel needs to be inspected by a certified third party. Make sure that you check with your local region whether you need to have a certified professional come in and check your vessel or not. The certification of inspection either needs to be posted near your compressor's area or in a conspicuous place in the PC. Alright, Joe, let's start walking through our inspection. First and foremost, we're going to want to make sure that all of our electrical system is intact as manufactured. We have no breaks or abrasions in any of our harnesses or conduits. We don't have any exposed wiring on the back of our breaker/control box. And we also want to make sure that none of the wiring to our overpressure switch is disrupted or altered from manufacturer's condition. Then we want to check our belt guard. We want to make sure that it is firmly intact. We want to make sure all of our screws are present, all of our fasteners and our mounts are intact and not cracked and securely mounted. Now we're going to want to come over to our compressor. And one of the first things we're going to want to check is all of our pressure and our suction lines. We're going to want to make sure that our safety relief valves are intact and functioning. Should be able to pull it out and it snap back and seal. If these are removed, plugged, or not in functioning order, and your overpressure switch does not work, it will lead to catastrophic failure of your pressure vessel. We want to make sure that all of our oil lines are intact and not leaking. We want to make sure that our oil level is at sufficient level. We want to make sure that it's being serviced as per recommendations. We want to make sure that our air dryer is working properly and that our valve turns on and off. Also, we want to make sure that our pump is securely fastened to the machine. We want to make sure that our electrical motor is greased within recommendations. We do not want to over-grease. We want to make sure that it is fastened and in tension on the belt. We don't want any excessive slipping. That'll lead to smoke, potential fire, damage to the compressor. Next, we want to make sure that our discharge from our tank is tight and not leaking and in good shape. We don't want to see any bulges or abrasions to the hoses. We certainly want all of our fittings to be sealed, and we do not want to see any kind of hose clamp on our discharge hose. this is a major safety concern. Also, you want to make sure that your air compressor is firmly attached to the ground and it is not attached to a pallet. Also, we want to make sure that we are not storing or cleaning our air compressor with any kind of low explosive limited chemicals. That includes brake clean, starting fluid, gasoline, diesel, even parts cleaning. We don't mineral spirits. We don't want to have any of that around our air compressor, because this is basically an internal combustion engine if we have any of those cleaners or solvents near our compressor. All right, Joe, now we finished our inspection on our air compressor. What are some of the things that we're concerned about downstream?
All right, we want to make sure that our air lines are in good condition. There's no major damage, no bulging. Make sure connectors are on and they're passing on with fans.
Also, we want to make sure that we're using an OSHA-approved blowgun if we're cleaning up our area or blowing off a piece of equipment. Our standard requires that be regulated down to 30 psi. Please take the time to make sure that your air compressor is routinely inspected and serviced based on the manufacturer's recommendations.
If any defects are found while doing a routine inspection, make sure that only qualified personnel do the repairs.
Thanks everyone for